Hi, this is Cathy for TransByDef on a cold, wintry day here in East Texas. I know it's nothing like up in the north part of the U.S., but the temperature is 32 degrees and falling. It's raining. It will probably ice over before the day is over. Today, we have been asked to talk about a very important part of being transgender, and that is sexual reassignment surgery or gender confirmation surgery. Is it for you? Why or why not? This is a very interesting topic and hit at a very interesting time for me. The last couple of days I went down to Houston to have my checkup with my endocrinologist, and I asked him, I said, is it right for me to have sexual confirmation surgery or SRS at my age? And he said, I would highly recommend not having SRS because of the long time that it would take you to recover. On the other hand, every time I am taking a shower and I look down and I see my male genitals, I would really like them to be gone. And I suffer a fairly high degree of dysphoria when it comes to looking at what is left of my male genitalia. True, hormone replacement therapy has decreased their size, and I appreciate that. But I would still like to be properly equipped as a woman, since I feel like a woman. With that said, I am faced with a very difficult question. Do I have SRS and have a double length of time for recuperating and have a lot more suffering, or do I have long-term mental anguish over retaining my male genitalia? Also, the other thing that affects me is, from a religious standpoint, all of the religious leaders of the church that I belong to are opposed to sexual reassignment surgery and to the idea of me becoming a woman. That plays a big role in my life and in the life of my family. And that is also a driving force that affects whether I have sexual reassignment surgery or whether I do not. The other one are the feelings of my wife. My wife is also somewhat opposed to me having sexual reassignment surgery, however not completely opposed, but she encourages me to not have it. She said it makes life a lot more simple. So when you come to the point where is sexual reassignment surgery right for you, there are a lot of things that you have to consider. I think number one that you have to consider is your health good enough to have that reassignment surgery, and do you want to go through the 2 months of intense pain? And if you go out there on the internet, you will see lots of people who talk about the steps and what they've gone through to have SRS, and it is not a fun operation, and it takes at least a month down, and most of the time it's a year recovery. The doctors estimate for me that would be at least 6 months down and a 1.5 to 3 years worth of recovery, and that is an awfully long time to be down with an operation, just a real long time, and that really plays a role in my decision as right now as not to have SRS. The other situation is you've got to look, how is it going to impact your partner or your wife or your boyfriend that you have? How are they going to take it, and how do they look at it? And do you want them to have some input? In the case of my wife, I treasure her dearly, and I very much follow the ideas that she has and listen to what she has to tell me. The last thing are what kind of social ramifications are associated with it. Are there social ramifications that with your religion, with your friends, with the other people that you have? Will it change your perspective to your partners, to your boyfriend or girlfriend, and to the people around you? That, I think, is a very, very important consideration when you're going into SRS. The other thing that we haven't even mentioned is the cost. Last time I checked into SRS, the cost was about $25,000 here in the U.S. from Marcy Bauer in San Francisco. It's about $17,000 to $18,000 to fly to Thailand and be over there and have Saporn or one of the other fine surgeons in Thailand do sexual reassignment surgery. So you've got to look at it and say there is a lot of cost to sexual reassignment surgery, and do you have the funds to do it, and have you saved up for it? The other thing that you have to consider going in is generally they want you to have been full-time at least 1 year and have had at least 2 different psychologists look at you and say that you are right for sexual reassignment surgery. Having been to my psychologist and to my endocrinologist and to one other person, all 3 feel that I would be a good candidate if my health were better. So when it comes to is gender confirmation surgery right for me, I at this point do not think so. I may at some point change my mind and decide that being down for 6 months and a 2 to 3 year recovery time is worth it. But at this point, I don't. I think I would rather deal with the dysphoria that I have every day when I have a shower and see my male genitalia down there where it is. Well, I thank you for your time, and as always, if you would leave me a comment in the box below, I would appreciate it, and I'll be happy to answer. And you have a good day. We will see you again next week. Bye.